Romans 12, and let's read verse 1.
我们再从罗馬書第12章1到2節開始，我們讀第1節。
Therefore I urge you, brethren, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies a living and holy sacrifice, acceptable to God, which is your spiritual service of worship. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect.
我們一起讀1到2節。所以弟兄們，我以神的慈悲勸你們，將身體獻上，當作活祭，是聖潔的，是神所喜悅的。你們如此侍奉，那是理所當然的。不要效法這個世界，只要心意更新而變化，叫你們察驗何為神善良、純全、可喜悅的旨意。
I want us to look now at the phrase acceptable to God.
好，我们现在要看是神所喜悅的這個詞。
The word here, acceptable, can also mean well-pleasing, that it pleases God.
神所喜悅的意思就是神很喜歡的。
You and I are always seeking to please someone.
你跟我總是在想要討一些人的喜歡。
Some people seek to please themselves.
有些人是討自己喜悅。
They are all about themselves.
他們一切都是以自我為中心。
But then there are many people who seek to please others.
但還有很多人呢是要討別人的喜歡。
Even people they don't like.
甚至他們不喜歡的人也要討他們喜歡。
But then there's another category of people.
但是還有一種人。
A people that are very free.
這些人是很自由的。
And have found the meaning of joy.
他們找到了喜樂的訣竅
They
和意
seek
義。
to please God.
他們尋求討神的喜悅。
Just to please Him.
單單討他的喜悅。
You know, sometimes we complicate Christianity so much.
有時候你知道，我们把基督教搞得很複雜。
With all our ideas and everything else.
我們有很多的想法，這個方法那個方法的。
And many of the strange doctrines that are blowing through the church now complicate so many things.
還有今天各樣的在教會裡的異教之風，把我們的信仰搞得很複雜。
But in reality, our greatest concern should be only one thing.
但其實我們應該關心的最大的關心的焦點只有一件事。
To please God with the life that He's given us.
就是用他所賜給我們的生命，單單的討他的喜悅。
And to please God in the circumstances that He has permitted around us.
不論他允許我們遭遇什麼樣的遭遇，我們都要來榮耀他，來討他的喜悅。
We can be pleasing to God when we're preaching the gospel.
當我們傳福音的時候，我們可以討他的喜悅。
We can be pleasing God when we are fasting.
當我們禁食的時候，也可以討他的喜悅。
But we can be pleasing to God when we're laying sick in bed.
但當我們生病在床上的時候，也可以討神的喜悅。
Or when trials are all around us.
或者我們遭遇各種各樣患難的時候，也可以討神的喜悅。
We can be pleasing to God when we say no to too much food.
當太多食物，我們說不，我不吃了，也可以討他喜悅。
But we can also be pleasing to God when we eat our food with great joy and delight.
當我們享用食物的時候，歡喜快樂，吃喝快樂的時候，也可以討他喜悅。
We could be pleasing to God because we abstain from marriage for a time in order to carry the gospel to a place.
我們可以討他喜悅。當我們在婚姻上，我們跟妻子分房，為了要把福音傳給別人，可以討他喜悅。
And we can be pleasing to God in our marriage and in our delight in our marriage.
但是当我們結婚，我們在婚姻裡頭，我們夫妻彼此相愛，也可以討主喜悅。
We can be pleasing to God because we refuse to buy an expensive car that we do not need.
当我们沒有必要買一部很豪華的車，我們不需要的時候，我們不買它，可以討神的喜悅。
And yet we can be pleasing to God when we buy a car that we delight in and that we need.
同時，我們需要一輛車，我們很喜歡，我們把它買下來，也可以討主喜歡。
The key is to be pleasing to God.
關鍵是討神的喜悅。
You know, we can be pleasing to God because we don't spend extravagant amounts of money on clothing.
我們不把錢花在那些昂貴的衣服上，這個時候可以討神的喜悅。
And yet you can be pleasing to God because you buy a dress that really looks nice.
那同時，我們買一件很漂亮的衣服，也可以討主喜悅。
You see what I'm trying to teach
你
you?
知道我在设法要教导是什么吗？
We're not talking about legalism.
我们讲的不是律法主义，条条框框。
We're not talking about carrying burdens that God never commanded us to carry.
我们讲的不是背负一些神没有叫我们背负的担子，
But we're talking about offering our lives as a living sacrifice.
我们乃是在讲论将自己身体献上当作活祭。
We're talking about separating God as most high in our heart.
我们在讲论，在我们的心里头将我们的主分別為聖，他是至高至上的。
We're talking about renewing our mind in the Scripture.
我们在講論，借着神的話語，心意更新而變化，
And simply doing that which pleases Him.
單單做那討他喜悅的事。
So, we are to live a life that is acceptable to God.
所以我們要活在神面前，要是神所喜悅的這樣生活。
If you do that,
如果你這樣行的話，
culture is not going to accept you.
我們周圍的文化就不會接納我們了。
Even some people within the so-called Christian culture are not going to be pleased with you.
我們周圍這些基督教的文化傳統也不會喜悅我們，也不能接納我們。
But never forget this.
但不要忘記，
They will not be seated on the throne on that final day.
當審判的日子，他們不會坐在審判台上審判你的，
God will be seated on the throne.
唯獨神在審判台上，
And it's Him that you should please.
唯獨他你要討他喜悅。
Now, children,
好，
young
孩子
people,
們，年
listen
輕
to me.
人注意聽，
This is very important.
很重要。
You're going to have other young people around you putting pressure on you constantly.
你在你周圍這些年輕人都會向你施加壓力啊，
Always remember,
總要記得，
they will not be on the throne on that final day.
到了審判的日子，他們不會坐在寶座上審判，
They will be standing before God being judged.
他們會跟你一塊兒站在神面前接受審判。
Don't seek to please your friends.
不要討你朋友的喜悅。
If your friends are asking you to do something that is against the will of God,
如果你的朋友叫你做一些不討神喜悅的事，你不要討他的喜
you
歡，
must please God.
你必須單單討神的喜歡。
But you can't do that
但是你辦不到，除非
unless you know His Word and His
除非你
will.
知道他的話語，你明白他的旨意，要不然你辦不到。
Another thing, young people, that I want you to see.
還有一件事情，年輕人，我要你看見的。
I have been around Chinese youth,
我曾經跟一些中國的年輕人在一塊兒，
and I've also seen this among South Korean youth.
而且南韓的年輕人也是這樣，
They have a deep respect for their parents,
他們對父母親都很尊重，
or at least they do not want to offend their parents.
至少他們不願意叫父母親不喜悅，
And so they seek to be pleasing to their parents.
所以年輕人都願意討父母的喜歡，
And that's good.
很好，沒錯。
But they also seek to be pleasing to their parents with regard to Christianity.
但是在基督教的這些事上，他們也想要討神喜歡。
That can be both good or bad.
這個可能是好事兒，也可能是壞事兒。
Why?
為什麼？
If you are going to church just to please your parents,
如果你上教會僅僅是討你父母的歡喜的話，
just so they will not be offended,
好叫你父母不至於跌倒，你去教會，
that is very dangerous.
這很危險哦，
Very dangerous.
很危險。
You should go,
當然你應該去教會啊，
but you should also recognize you're wrong.
但你要明白你去的動機不
You
對。
should be going not because it's the religion of your parents or the God of your parents.
你去教會不僅僅是因為這是你爸媽的信仰，是你父母的傳統，不僅如此而已。
You should be going because He is your God.
你應該來教會呢，是因為他是你的神，
It is your religion.
這是你的信仰。
We say oftentimes in America, God has children,
我們往往在美國會說，神有兒女，沒錯，
but God does not have grandchildren.
但神沒有孫子孫女兒。
You are not a child of God because your parents are children of
你不
God.
是因為你爸媽是神的兒女，你就成為神的兒女，不是的。
You must have a personal relationship.
你必須自己跟神建立關係。
I have met many Chinese and Korean youth
我碰到很多中國的還有南韓的年輕人
who even when they went to college,
當他們到了大學
they would join the Christian group and
他們
everything else.
會參加這個基督教的這個團契啊等等，
They would seek to be moral.
他們要做個好孩子。
But when I talked to them,
但是當我跟他們對話的時候，
there was really no personal reality of
我
Christ.
發現他們跟基督沒有個人的關係。
They were trying to be good to please their parents.
他們想要做個好孩子，為了要討父母的歡喜而已。
That is good,
這固然好啊，
but it's not enough.
但是不夠。
He must be your Savior.
他必須成為你個人的救主，
You must have your own personal relationship with Him.
你必須跟他建立自己個人的關係。
Just remember that.
記得，
Now, it says that we're to offer our lives as a living and holy sacrifice.
好，就是说将我们身体献上，当作活祭，是圣洁的。
That sacrifice is to be acceptable to God.
好，这个献祭呢是神所喜悦的。
And then he says it's your spiritual service of worship.
他继續說：“你們要如此侍奉，乃是理所當然的。”
Now, this phrase is difficult to translate
好，这个理所當然很難翻譯啊。
because it can mean spiritual service of worship
好，這個意思可以翻成是屬靈的敬拜或是侍奉，
or logical service of
或者
worship.
也可以像中文翻譯的是理所當然的、合乎邏輯的侍奉。
Or another word for logical, reasonable.
換言之，就是合情合理的。
So what are we being told here?
这裡到底在講什麼呢？
How do we truly, spiritually worship God?
我們怎麼樣才能夠屬靈的來敬拜神、侍奉神
If？you want to offer true spiritual worship,
如果你要把真正的敬拜獻給神，
what must you do?
你應當做什麼？
Offer your life as a living
你要
sacrifice.
把自己的身體獻上作為活祭。
You know, today, Christian music has gone through a lot of
你
changes.
知道今天的基督教的音樂啊，經歷了很多的風波跟改變。
Christian worship has gone through a lot of changes.
教會的敬拜也有很多的改變，
And not all of them's bad,
不都是壞的改變啊。
but it has it almost seems like it's manipulative.
但是似乎就是有一些操作的，有一種人工的在外操作的敬拜，
And it's self-centered
很自我中心的，
in many ways.
很多方面
I
的。
ask people, why do you go to that church?
我問別人為什麼你去那個教會，
And some of them will say, because the worship is so
他
good.
們會說因為他們的敬拜很好啊。
Now, that can be a correct statement.
當然這可能是事實
But，oftentimes what I've discovered is this.
但往往我發現其實
They're saying the praise band is really good.
他們說這個敬拜很好的意思，說他們那個唱詩班或者那個樂隊挺好的。
And there's a big difference between the
這
two.
兩者完全不同哦。
Also, I've noticed this.
而且我常常注意到，
We had a lot of college students that were coming to our church.
我們教會有很多大學生來，
And many of them very devoted.
他們有很多都是很敬虔的，
I mean, there's the reality of Christ.
但是他們真實認識基督。
But I noticed when they first came to our church
但我注意到，當他們剛剛來我們教會的時候，
that they really didn't sing that much.
他們起初
They didn't worship with much
似
force
乎
when they sang.
他們唱詩讚美的時候沒有熱情，不敬拜，不唱詩。
And I thought, why is that?
我說為什麼這樣子？
Because I was with them enough to know their life,
因為我常常跟他們在一塊兒，我知道他們的生活如何，
and I could see they really loved the Lord.
我看得出來他們真正愛主。
But when worship began,
但是當我們敬拜的時候，
they were very passive.
他們很消極。
And I came to realize something.
我後來明白了，
In many churches, that's exactly what young people are being trained to do.
很多教會啊，年輕人所教導的就是叫他們這麼做，
Because there's a worship band
因為有一個敬拜的帶領，這個
who
敬拜
does
的
all the singing.
他們敬拜，他們在唱，
And you kind of watch them.
你就看他們
It's almost like entertainment.
就好像娛樂一樣。
Now, I'm not saying it's
看戲。
wrong to have a worship band.
我不是說有一個敬拜的隊伍，有
What
個
I'm
敬拜的
saying
帶領
is-
不對啊。我的意思呢是說，
What is true worship?
什麼是真正的敬拜？
Just because everyone's got their hands in the air,
人人把手舉在空中就是敬拜
or
嗎
the music is very emotional and moving,
或者那個音樂非常的優美，非常感動人，叫
it
敬拜嗎？
doesn't mean it's true worship.
這不見得是真正的敬拜啊。
True worship can only be given by those who have given their life to Christ as a living sacrifice.
唯有那些把自己身體獻上作為活祭的人，才能夠真正的敬拜神。
Do you see that?
看到沒有？
So how can you truly give spiritual worship?
你怎麼能夠真正的有那屬靈的敬拜？
Only by offering your life to Him.
唯有把自己身体獻上作為活祭的时候才能。
There's another thing I've noticed about worship, Christian worship today, that I would just like to point out.
还有一件事我注意到今天的现代的敬拜，我要指出来的。
And again, I want to say that there are some really good songs being written today.
当然，我要再说一次啊，今天也有很多美好的新的诗歌创作出来。
And not everything is bad. Some is very good.
不是所有的都是很糟糕，也有一部分是美好的敬拜。
But I've gone into churches where people will be more expressive and raise their hands and things like that.
我到一些教会，那些教会比较表達性強一點，會舉手啊等等啊。
And there's nothing wrong with that.
這本身沒有錯，
But I've seen something that's a little bit dangerous.
但是我也看到一些危險的成分。
Imagine, here are the lyrics or the word to the song.
你想想这些是这些歌的歌詞，
Then also there's the music.
下面是歌譜。
And I've noticed that when the music goes up
我發現到，當這個音樂進入高潮的時候，
and becomes very powerful and very emotional,
當音樂非常的強烈，非常的帶着感情的時候，
the hands and the emotion goes up.
人的手就舉起來了，情感也就挑起來了。
And that at least some of the emotions in the people
至少這些敬拜者心裡的一些情感
are motivated more by the force of the music
是被音樂的这个音樂所挑起來的，
than the truth of what's being sung.
而不是被他們所唱的這些歌詞裡面的真理所激勵出來的，不是的。
I've looked back on my own life.
我回想我自己的生活，
And I can recall some songs that really moved me when I was, 30 years ago.
我可以想到有些歌，譬如30年前有些歌真正大大的感動我的心，激勵了我。
And I can look back on them now
我可以現在回想起那些歌，
and realize it was the music,
我想到是那個音樂，是音樂，
or it was actually statements that weren't even really that biblical.
是還或者那些不太合乎聖經的一些話語，那個歌詞在影響我。
And so we need to be very careful,
所以我們要很謹慎，
very careful.
非常的小心。
And again, I want to go back to this thing that, if you're going to a church because the worship is really good,
我們再回到這個主題啊，如果你到一個教會，因為他們的敬拜很好，
ask yourself this question.
你要捫心自問一個問題：
Is it biblical?
他們所唱的合乎聖經嗎？
Is the song that's being sung, is it biblical?
他們所唱的內容本身有沒有聖經的依據呢？
Another thing to ask yourself,
另外一個你要自問的問題：
is the preaching good?
這個教會的講道如何？
Is it biblical?
他们所講的合乎聖
Is it
經嗎？
expository preaching?
是不是按着正義分解真理的道按卷查經呢
Are？ they seeking to bring the word out?
是不是把聖經本身的意思帶出來呢？
A few years ago, I was in a country.
幾年前我在一個國家啊，
I don't need to say where,
我不提是哪裡。
but they invited me to just come into this area that was very dangerous. It was the very poor slums.
他們邀請我到一個窮人區，一個很危險的一個地區講道。
And so I went in to see the churches, a few of them that night.
我那天晚上呢，就去看了一些教会，探望他们。
And they were extremely emotional.
他們非常情緒激昂。
I mean, really emotional.
我的意思說，他們真是熱情澎湃。
That preacher was screaming and jumping and
那個傳道人又蹦又跳，哇！
And the people were singing and dancing and everything
信徒
else.
又唱詩又跳舞的，唱靈歌跳靈舞的。
Almost everything that was said,
但是幾乎所說的一切，
most of it was not biblical.
大多數都不合乎聖經。
But in the midst of it,
但是在這一切的當中，
I found even myself getting excited.
我發覺我自己也投入了，好激動的。
It's the power of entering into an atmosphere like that.
是這個進入這樣的環境所帶來的一種共鳴啊。
And that's not necessarily bad
這本身不是一件壞事啊。
if what's being done is biblical.
如果所做的是合乎聖經的，
If what's being said is
如果
biblical.
所說的也是合乎聖經的，
So you have to be
是件
very
好事。
discerning.
所以我們必須要非常有分辨力。
Now, on the other side,
另一方面呢，
there are some churches that are very classical,
还有一些教会非常的古典，
and they can be dead as a rock.
他们可以像石头一樣的冷冰冰的、
So
死板的。
we don't want any extremes.
我們不要走任何極端，对不對？
You shouldn't take pride in the fact that you scream and dance,
你不要認為你唱靈歌、跳靈舞、蹦蹦跳跳，你就值得驕傲。
and
一
you
方面，
should not take pride in the fact that you don't.
另一方面，你也不要因着你死死板板也引以為豪。
We need to seek to be biblical.
我們需要合乎聖經的平衡。
And if we are biblical,
如果我們合乎聖經的話，
there will be times when there is great quiet and solemnity.
有時候在教會裡頭會有很大的安靜，
But there may also
平安。
be times of great excitement
同
and
時
passion.
也會有熱情奔放的時刻來敬拜他。
What you're looking for is, does it conform to the scriptures?
關鍵是你要看它是否合乎聖經。
Now, he says, it is your spiritual service of worship.
好，他说这是理所当然，就是屬靈的敬拜，也可以翻譯作。
It can also mean it's your reasonable service of
好，
worship.
中文翻譯作是理所當然、合情合理的侍奉。
Let me share with you something here.
好，让我跟你分享一些事。
It is not reasonable to give your life to a man.
當你把生命獻給一個人的時候，就不是理所當然，
It
不
is
合情合理。
it is not reasonable to offer yourself as a living and holy sacrifice to some pastor.
你把自己身体獻上，当作活祭獻給一個牧師或者牧者，是不
Or
合情合理的；
or to a church,
或者給一個教會，也是不是
or,
理所當然；
or to an ecclesiastical organization.
或者一個宗派，或者一個什麼機構，也都是不合情合理的。
If someone ever tells you that you need to do that,
如果有人告訴你，你需要把自己獻上給一個宗派的話，或者一個人的話，
it's a cult.
這是一個邪教，
It's not reasonable.
這不是理所當然的，
It's not.
不是的。
But it is reasonable to offer your life as a living and holy sacrifice to God.
但是把自己身體獻上當作活祭獻給上帝是理所當然，合乎邏輯。
Remember the story I told you last night about the young man who began to share the gospel on campus?
你記得昨天晚上我跟你講到那個年輕人的故事，他開始在學校校園裡頭傳福音，
And everyone thought he was crazy.
人人都以為他瘋了。
Why are you doing
你
this?
幹啥做這些事兒呢？
What was his answer?
他的答案是什麼？
He only needed one answer to prove that what he was doing was reasonable.
他只需要一個答案來證明他所做的是理所當然的，
Jesus died for me.
就是耶穌為我而死。
It is reasonable for us to give our lives to God.
我們把自己身體獻上作為活祭是理所當然的，
He made our life.
因為他創造我們。首
It's
先，
His.
我們生命本來就屬他，
He sustains our life.
而且他托住我們的生命。
Every breath you breathe comes from Him.
你的每一口呼吸都是他所賜予的。
He sent His Son to die for us
他更差他的兒子為我們而死，
and promises us eternity in His presence.
更应許我們永遠在他的面光中活着。
It is reasonable
所以這是理所當
for
然
you
的。
to give your life to Him.
我們應該把身體獻上給
It's
他
not。reasonable to give your life for money
把你自己身體獻上給金錢是不合情合理的，
because you cannot take money with you.
因為你不可能把金錢帶到天上去，
Because money cannot redeem your soul.
因為金錢不能夠救贖你的生命。
And because some of the richest people in the world are also the most unhappy people in
因
the
为
world.
世上有一些最有钱的人，却是世上最悲惨的人，最不快乐的人。
It is ridiculous to live for your youth
为你的青春而生活也是
because
不可理喻的，
it only lasts for a few years.
因为你的青春转眼就要过去。
It is not reasonable to give your life just for this world.
你把自己的生命献给这个世界，仅仅为这个世界而活，是不是理所当然的？
But it is reasonable to give it to God
但是把生命献上给神是理所
and
当
in
然，合情合理。
service to Him.
服侍他、敬拜他是应该的。
You know, the older I get, the more this just becomes true.
你知道我越老，这些话我越有体会。
I'm 53.
我53了，我57了，
I mean, I'm not old,
我没老到那个地步啊。
but I am old enough to know this.
但是我够老了，能够明白这一点。
I'm not going to get stronger.
我不可能越来越强壮、年輕的，
I am not going to get prettier.
我也不可能越來越漂亮。
I am not going to, as the years increase, I'm not going to have less pain, but more.
當我的年齡一年年增長，我不可能是痛苦減少，那是痛苦越來越加增的。
Just think about it.
你想想，
If my life was here,
如果我的生命在此，
right now,
現在，
if it was only this life,
如果僅僅有這一生而已，
then the best is already past, hasn't it?
那我最好的人生已經過去了，對不對？成為歷史嘛。
The best has already passed.
最好的青春年華都
With
成歷史
regard to youth,
不管是青春年華
it's gone.
過去了，對不對？
You know,
你知道，
I've lived long enough
Whoa.
to see an amazing thing.
我活得夠長了，以至於我看到一些很奇妙的事兒。
And you young people won't be able to fully understand
你們
this.
這些年輕人也許不能完全明白。
But when I was, let's say, 17,
當我譬如17歲的時候，
there were movie stars just like today,
哇，就像今天一樣，有很多的明星啊，
and famous singers.
非常有名的歌星。
Well, I saw them when they were beautiful
當他們很美的時候，我曾經見過這些人，
and strong,
他們強壯、美貌、
rich.
有錢啊，
Everyone wanted to be like them,
人人都羨慕像他們一
just
樣，
like today,
就
right?
像今天，對不對？
But now,
那現在
more than 30 years have passed.
大概30多年都過去了，
Some of them are dead.
這些明星有些死了，
Some of them are broke.
有一些破產了，
And all of them are old.
他們都老了，
And they're not pretty.
現在他們不美了，
And they're not strong.
也不強壯了。
There was a lady that was a famous movie star when I was just a teenager.
當我年輕的時候，有一個明星啊，有名的演員，
And I literally thought she was the most beautiful woman in the
哇，
world.
我真以為她是全世界最美的女人。
I saw a picture of her the other day.
前幾天我看到她的近代的照片，
And she has a sickness.
她現在生病了。
And I don't mean this in a bad way.
我不是
She has an illness.
負面的說她真是生病了。
Her looks have been totally destroyed.
她的整個容貌都改觀了，毀容了。
Now, that doesn't mean she's a bad lady,
這不是說她是個壞女人啊，
but it does point out a reality.
但是至少指出一個事實。
Young people, listen to me.
年輕人，你注意聽啊！
All those famous people and actors,
你知道這些
singers
演員啊、歌星啊，這些有名的啊，這些人啊，
that are so beautiful and you
現在
envy them,
你看這麼美貌啊，你好羨慕他們啊！
just wait 30 years
再等30年看看，
and see what happens.
看看會有什麼結局。
You see, it's not reasonable
你知道，就不是理所當然的
to，give your life to this world
把你的生命投入這個世界，不合情合理。
in that way.
這麼投入是不合
We
理。
should offer our lives to God
我們應該把身體獻上給神，
and live in this world
活在世上沒錯，
and serve in this world
是服侍這個世界，
but always with the hope that this world is not my home.
但是我们所指望不是这个世界，因为世界不是我们的家。
And I'm waiting for a city whose builder, whose maker is God.
我在等候一座城，它的建筑者，它的创始者是上帝。
You know, there's a famous book that was written, and it's called Your Best Life Now.
你知道有一本很有名的書叫做什么？为今生而活，叫什么？活出美好。Joel Osteen.
But one famous preacher has said this.
你知道有一个有名的传道人说
If the best life you're ever going to have is now,
如果你仅仅在今生才能有最美好的生活，活出美好的话，
that can only mean you're going to hell.
意思就是你肯定下地狱了。
If you don't know Christ,
如果你不认識基督，
this is your best life now.
的確，現在是你最美好的生活，
Because all that's coming is judgment.
因為以後要來到的是審判。
But if you know Christ,
但如果你認識基督，
this isn't your best life now.
今生今世不是你最美好的一生，不，
It is to come.
那最好美好的還要來呢，是將來的。
Sometimes my son Evan,
有時候我的兒子叫
he has a
Evan，
real soft heart.
他的心很軟，
And he'll see me tired,
他會看到我很疲
and he'll
倦，
come and sit by me,
他就過來坐在我旁邊，
and he'll say, Dad,
他說：“爸爸，
I wish you were younger
我巴不得你更年輕點就好
so，you wouldn't feel this way.
你就不會那麼疲倦啦。”
And I said, oh, son, I would never want to be younger.
那我說：“兒子，但願我不會那麼年輕，我不可能更
He
年輕。
says, why? ”
他說：“為什麼？
Because I'm so much closer now,
因為我現在
so much closer to home.
離家更近了。”
I'm so much closer to my day of freedom.
我離開那個得釋放、得自由的日子更近了。
I'm so much closer to my day of liberation.
我那個得解放的日子更近了。現在，
And I'll tell him sometimes, I say, son,
我有時候跟我兒子說：“兒啊，
I know I look older,
我知道我現在看起來老一點兒，
but inside,
但是裡面呢，
I'm still a 12-year-old boy.
我才12歲的小
I
男
don't
孩。
feel older inside.
我裡頭不覺得老，
This body's like a prison,
這個身體就像一個監獄一樣。
and one day it'll be laid down
有一天我要把這個身體給放掉、棄掉，
until it is raised again.
直到這個身體要復活。
But I'm so much closer to my master than I was.
但是我現在跟我的主比從前更親近。
I can't wait to see his face.
我按捺不住要見到他的面。
If I'm laying there as an old man
如果我躺在那兒是像老人家一樣，
and I'm dying
我正在死亡，
and you come and pray for me
你來替我禱告，
and God heals me,
神把我的身體醫治了。
when I wake up,
當我醒過來的時候，
I'm going to punch you.
我要揍你。
I don't want to come back.
我不想再回來了。
You see what a hope.
你知道何等的指望啊！
So I don't have to get plastic surgery in order to try to make myself look younger.
我沒必要動那些美容手術，叫我更年輕一點，
Because I'm headed home.
因為我正在回家的路上，
I'm headed home.
我要回家，
So it's reasonable to serve him.
所以我服侍他呢是理所當然的，
It's reasonable.
這是合情合理的嘛。
But it's not reasonable to do anything else.
除此以外都是不合情合理的。
Now, let's pray, and then let's have a short break of about 10 minutes, and then let's go again before lunch,
啊
okay?，
我們做個禱告，然後休息10分鐘，然後吃飯，然後
So that we can get at least 3 in this morning.
至少我們今天早上可以上
All right,
3
let's
堂
pray.
課。好，我們禱告。
Please visit our website at heartcrymissionary.com. There you will find information about the ministry, our purpose, beliefs and methodologies, and extensive information about the missionaries we are privileged to serve.